Namaste all of you. Ready to hear the bedtime story? Waiting for my weekend lullaby to go to sleep? So, last session, we were start to explore these various types of consciousness. In other words, the vastness of mind. How much we know about the mind, and from there, what are the different ways or different types of mind is there further hiding behind. So where it started, if you recall from the beginning, that 5 different types of mind, states of mind. The focused mind, distracted mind, forgetful mind. And from there, we also got to see the guna, the nature, the quality, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. It's all coming under this chitta, which we can not only exposing through these categories, furthermore we will study about it. Because when we saw this sutra, Yogaḥ, Chitta, vṛtti, nirodhaḥ, Patanjali put into this sutra with that 4 words. But to understand, to study that, we need the commentary of Vyasa, sage Vyasa, Vyasa Maharishi. How we call Patanjali as Patanjali Maharishi, same way, Vyasa Maharishi. We can't understand Yoga Sutra without the commentary of sage Vyasa. Who is this Vyasa Maharishi? There is one story like this. This commentary is written by Patanjali himself. He wrote the Yoga Sutra. Maybe the followers started to interpret different way or wrong way. Then he himself wrote the commentary in Vyasa's name. It's a gossip, okay? Don't believe that because we don't know. Scholars coming up with different opinions on that. But to give that commentary, you need extraordinary clarity about the subject. Because we can't refute that. We can say maybe we don't know, but we can't disprove that. It is wrong. We can't say that. And for that commentaries, other commentaries are there. The importance of these commentaries will help us, or these commentaries make the journey easier. Otherwise, we have to start from the beginning. We have to really think like those Maharishis. That is not possible. Why? Because these Rishis, they are all, you can say, special human beings. They even say they are not human beings. The Sanskrit word Rishi, in English we use, as we translate, we say sage or seer. It is not, we can say, that equivalent translation. Like how we see this guna, and when we talk about this sattva, rajas, tamas, we use that exact word to understand. The same way, here this category of these rishis, they are all extraordinary human beings. We can't really envisage, or we can't really see that any person can do, unless otherwise they have the great powers. Now, at current world, people separate it. This is spirituality, this is religion, and this is science. These sages, these rishis, we can say spiritual scientists. Why? they did exactly what the science is doing now. Searching the source, searching the end of everything. And from there, wherever they have reached, and from there, go further. But what these rishis have done, what we are trying to get through science, which they have already, in what way they come to know, we have various stories about it, but they have already written about it. Before science, they have talked about all these, astronomy, astrology, the effect of these various celestial bodies on human beings, the natural world, the life about animals, the life about plants and trees. And they also not talking about only planet Earth. They are talking about various other lives, and whatever that they have given to the humanity, they don't relate with only where they lived, limited to that community or culture or race. If you see that whatever they have given, everything is for the whole humanity. The definition for Rishi, Sanskrit, it is given mantra drashta. The person sees, the person who sees these mantras. In other session we explore about it, mantra, and also how they have compiled that as a Vedas, which is basically explaining about various ways for all sorts of people to lead the life. We will see that some other time in detail. Now let us understand this. Because of their extraordinary ability, they are able to see things which ordinary people cannot see. Through their senses, whatever the senses they are using, all these 5 senses, they have the capability to see beyond that, to see more than that. How it is possible? And nothing is hidden there. And they see what we are as a human being, what we are able to perceive through senses has a limitation. The life, whatever we see, it's very superficial. The more we see within ourselves, the more we travel within ourselves, we see other dimension, different perception of this existence. And that's how they have brought up with all these various systems, various practice methods, various meditation techniques, various way of living. They straight away recognize every human being is not the same. Every body is different, every mind is different. So when they approach to know the truth, the method also will vary. And they don't say, okay, my method is the best method, you have to follow only my method. Like we say, right? This is the best yoga, this yoga is not best. This style is the best one, this style is not best. Though we use this word, sage or saint or seer, we can say that that's a close connection when we say seer. They have seen these special things which the others not able to see. And if we look into that, their time, the duration when they lived, many different notes in different scriptures. So we can't precisely say 3,000, 5,000. There is no exact way we can prove. And they have got into all the fields. Now, whatever you have you are seeing, especially in the Indian tradition, whether it is medicine, whether it is the way to rule the people, the life of business person, the life of agriculture, people, any kind of field. Every rishi has gone into different field, and from there they have derived various methods. In fact, for many centuries, that's how it's been followed, that's how it's been utilized to lead the daily life. We'll see how we moved away from that kind of life and how we are going into totally opposite life, and what is the effect of it. In fact, when we do our asanas, various asanas, we can see that a lot of asanas have the name of many rishis. Viswamitrasana, Vashishthasana, Bharadwajasana, Marichyasana, all various rishis' name. So it will be interesting to know about their lifestyle, how they lived, how they led the life, and what are all the things they have done, and whatever they have said, how much related to the life we are living now, we are leading now. And that's where that we need to have this differentiation to look into. Because when we see something extraordinary, great, wonderful, then we start to emotionally celebrate that. We give a celebrity status, then whatever that person says should be the right thing. And that's why the application part is missing. Because anything we utter, when we say a word, it has this factor, time, place, reason. So even though Yoga Sutra says, Atha Yoga Anushasanam, Yoga's Chitta, vṛtti, nirodhaḥ, we have to have that clarity, how it is required now. Do I have to do this way? Is it the only way? And what is the message I am getting? How I can apply? Then we are able to see that the value of it, or also the application, how it is related with the current life. So when we hear the stories of various rishis, also when we study about their teachings, don't accept just with the literal meaning. We have to look into the implied meaning, how it is related with now. So this Veda Vyasa, he has this name Veda Vyasa because he is the compiler. Various mantras from various rishis, and he was the one organized, compiled, arranged, division into 4 different categories. They say first 3 was there, then later other one is categorized later also. But anyway, so the name is given Veda Vyasa. In fact, his original name is Krishna Dvaipayana. His father also a sage, a rishi. His name is Vyasa Maharishi. There are many stories on him. So one day this Parasara going on the banks of river Yamuna, and he had to cross from one shore, one side to the other side. The story goes like that, how Vyasa has come into this world. So he saw a boat. A beautiful young lady was in the boat, and she was helping to cross the river, cross from this side to other side. The lady belongs to fishery family, fisherwoman. Her name is Satyavati. The story goes this way. As he got into the boat, he asked her to help take him across. Then Sage Parasara saw her beauty and got interest on her. But actually, when I see this way, we can interpret as a sage, as a great being. They have the connection. They know about the past, also the present, and also what is coming next. So we can interpret that way, that through her there should be follow-up action. The Vyasa need to be there, need to come to this earth to do certain activities, certain things for the human well-being. So he got interested on her. He requested her, but she refused. She said, "No, I'm not interested on you. My duty is take you to across the river. So soon the other shore will come. You please get down and get lost." But Sage Parasara didn't leave, because he knows what is going to come next. So he was requesting her persistently. Then she put 3 conditions. If you can fulfill these conditions, then I will accept. What is the first condition? First condition is, because she is a fisher woman, not only because of that, probably by birth, she has that foul smell from her body, which also a kind of bothering thing for her long time. She said, "I should get rid of this foul smell." Probably those days the cosmetic industry was, not there, or whatever they would have used in a natural way, she couldn't access. Obviously as a fisherwoman, right? Then, second one, with our connection, when whatever the baby we are going to get should be wise, should be a great person. Then the third one, this is a great one. She said, nobody should know that we get this connection and we are going to have this baby. Not only that, I should not lose my virginity. Nobody should not know also, I should not lose my virginity also. So, what do you think this sage Parasara could have done? Obviously, he has all the power, right? He's a great sage. And see the connection, he see the future. He said yes, 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 yes. So what he did, because he has to cross the river, that area itself, he created one mini island. And he got into the boat to cross the river. Before crossing the river, he lived the life with her in that mini island. And they get together, got the baby also, and the baby started to grow. That child is Sage Vyasa. Before he crossed the river, he lived that long life in that island. Because later the story goes of Satyavati. After she went back to the other side of the river, then some other story goes. Afterwards only actually she is getting into a great life, different life. In fact, that is where starts this whole story of Mahabharata. Who wrote this? The same Vyasa. You heard about the Bhagavad Gita? Is there in that Mahabharata? from sage Vyasa. So after taken birth, that as Krishna Dvaipayana, his name, actual name, as he was growing up, he straight away got into do his penance, got into meditation. Because the amount of the work we are attributing to sage Vyasa is so vast, so huge. You can say that without that Vedas, other one is this 18 mythological compilation plus this Mahabharata. If you remove these things, we can see that nothing is there. This whole tradition is gone. That's why we celebrate this Guru Purnima on his name, Vyasa Purnima. In another way we say that the full moon comes on July month. So we celebrate as Guru Purnima. Mainly we worship him to his blessings. Through him the whole tradition started. So because if you see that story in the Mahabharata, the character sage Vyasa also there. He is also one of the character within that. That's how this whole story, you can see that revolving around. And like his story, there are many other sages. They lived in different timings, different ways, and many different things have been done through them. But what is more important is definitely not these stories, but the teachings they have left, the methods they have given for every human being, and also at different periods when there is some challenge, some difficulty to follow those methods, and follow-up activities also done through various ways. So his commentary, when we study Yoga Sutra, Vyasa commentary, you can see that every sutra giving that additional explanation, additional information, and from there we need some other commentators' help to understand that. And what all these sages done, all these rishis, which direction actually they explored? Nothing but truth. Nothing but the reality of this. In other words, we can simply say, what is life? Who am I? Why I am leading this life this way? What I am facing in this life? How I can do? How I can live? And that's where comes, okay, we can see that again and again we go back to the mind. The nature of mind. What is the various stages of mind? And I have said very clearly, mind is everything. Manameva bandha moksha sadhana. Mind is the instrument not only for the bondage, for the freedom also. If you are free, it's because of your mind. If you are suffering, if you are in the bondage of life and death cycle, that is also because of mind. That's why in Yoga Sutra, we can see that as we go further, the whole explanation given, it talks about obstacles, it talks about techniques to overcome, it talks about many options also. You can do this. Okay, if you are not able to do that, you do this. If that is not working, you do this. It's not only one option, different options given. And it is very interesting how these sages lived. There are few sages, they don't stay in one place. They always move from one place to other place, different places. There are few rishis, they have this power. You call him, he will come there. Don't ask me how. In fact, Yoga Sutra talks about getting into various state ourselves. So when they have that kind of capacity, obviously you can't say that how it is possible. We can see that when you are able to do that, definitely you have the capacity to do all these other things. And there are rishis, they set the place, their own ashram, a place to live. Normally, you can see that those kind of places, somewhere in the mountain area, somewhere nearby riverside, away from busy area, a secluded life. What are their activities? Because they have already reached, one of the other definition for rishi, a person who has attained everything, a person who doesn't need to attain or doesn't need to strive for anything more than what they have. In other words, nothing more to achieve. No more search. No more things to do. But still, why they lived? Why they have got into various activities? A simple reason. They just share what they know to other people who don't know. They see it. This is the root or source of all the issue. You do this, your problem will be gone. Just to share that simple message. And if you see that in various ways, whatever their scriptures, whatever they taught, it is nothing but the same message. Again and again, there are a number of literature, number of books, number of mantras. Again and again, they are saying the same thing. What you see through senses, it is just an illusion. You go inward, your real world is within you. The more you be with yourself, you see the truth, you see the reality. Otherwise, we try to reach through the senses. Whatever we are trying to explore to this external world, a limited understanding, a limited knowledge, it is just we create illusion within illusion. And these rishis recognizing very well that as an individual human being, what is their requirement? As a family, what is their requirement? In other words, as two persons come together, what is their requirement? As a children, what is their requirement? As a old age, what is the requirement? A person who is studying, practicing, how they can do that? A person who is halfway, what they have to do? A person who attained, got this knowledge, and in that way, what else they can do? They have started that guidance long back and to various sorts of people. They see the necessity of everything, necessity of entertainment, necessity of individual person when they are alone, necessity of a family when they are facing the world. What are the requirements? They didn't say, okay, this is the truth. You just do this only, you will know the truth. You just follow only this. This is the technique you follow. You just sit in meditation all the time. You keep doing the whole Ashtanga practice. Because the mindset changes, evolves at different levels. So they recognize these 4 periods of life. At a young age, the mind is very fresh. The mind receives well. So they kept that period just to study. Study, play, and not just you are studying like we are studying now. Means 12 years, 15 years, 20 years, you study. Afterwards, you totally do something which you don't received, whatever the knowledge you received, not that you are applying. Afterwards, you do something else totally. So they have separated the life into these different categories. Student life, worldly life, means you are receiving the knowledge. Afterwards, we are facing the world. Either you are alone or you are with family, whatever the way, that you have to have this worldly life. Then they say, you don't enjoy or get into this worldly life until your death. After a certain period, you start to withdraw from the worldly life. You slowly start to go inward. A secluded life. A life away from busy way. Then renunciated life. You renunciated completely. If we see in different part of the world, at different periods, more or less we can see that the life is going in this way. Young age they are learning, afterwards they are standing on their own, leading the life. Then afterwards it is not compulsory, that secluded life or the renunciated life. Some place it may happen, some places it may happen by force. But here, whoever you are, the recommendation given by these rishis is let go, that ready to withdraw from whatever you are enjoying or not enjoying. You may be a king, you may be having everything, but slowly withdraw yourself from that responsibilities, and after some time let go everything. So it will be interesting to see what they have really taught during the student life, as they have set up various places, ashrams, monasteries, whatever you call it. To whom they taught mainly this. All these rishis, they have their own disciples, that's one side. Apart from that, they mainly taught to various children, those children from different walks of life, from different levels, children of kings, ministers, business people, all these various levels, various categories of the people from the society. The first thing what they do, along with whatever, the mantra initiation they give, main teaching will be about the breath, starting with pranayama, surya namaskar, and doing all the cleaning work, preparing the kitchen, cutting the vegetables for sure. And then they will choose, based on that, their lifestyle, their further other things, whatever they have to study. Along with that, they study about the nature of the mind. They study about what is the illusion world. They study about what is the real world. They study about how to meditate. Minimum 12 years they have to study. Almost the same time what we are studying school now. But in that 12 years, they don't just study how to make money, how to live in this world. Not just for that. Rather, what is the end of life? Where the life starts, where the life ends. If there is any life, so-called life, there is a starting point, there is an ending point. What is the reality of ourselves? They study straight away. Among that children, whoever that, studying there are one or two, they get the idea straight away. Maybe in millions, we don't know. Some people got the idea, but still they have their own duties, they have own responsibilities to follow. Some people have no idea. They get some knowledge. So then whatever they have studied, to bring that, to see that practically, experientially, then they say, okay, get into the family life, get into the worldly life, take some responsibilities. It is really pity. Now, if you see that, our current education for the, I think, number of decades, everywhere, I think, in the world, irrespective of culture, race, the whole direction has gone into opposite way. We are all educated. You need to make money. You need to get a good job. You need to have a big house. You need to have a car. Not one car, many cars. The whole direction has totally, it's like a U-turn, opposite direction, that you need money to live the world, to live in the world. Rishis also saying the same thing. Yes, you need. Without the material source or capacity, you can't achieve certain things, or you can't face the world, live in the life. Having said that, they give the clarity. What is the value of that? What is that money will bring you? How much it will be valuable? How far it will be valuable? That knowledge also given along that. We don't even study about our breathing. We don't give that much importance how the mind works. How much we studied about memory or intelligence, and what is the relationship of that. Even now science, whatever agrees, how much we are bringing that in our education system. In many places started here and there, bits and pieces. But because of the change of value system, what is required, what is not required, when we embark the life, after school life, when we are getting into the worldly life, what we need to do, how far it can help, how far it will not help. This wrong education for many years, and that is the problem now we are facing. The division which is created in many ways by country, by religion, by race, by culture. A lot of resentment. It's amazing to see the teachings of the Rishis. Whatever they have given, it is for the whole humanity. There is no question of nationality. It's about human beings. It's about individual beings' wellness. You hear this mantra, right? Asatoma satkamaya, tamasoma jyotirkamaya, mrityorma amritam kamaya. So the request is, let me go to the truth, whatever the nature of it. From non-real, let me get the real thing. Let me go to that eternal life. Let me have that. So then when you are going into worldly life, family life, household life, and they have given various methods how to live, how to face the various challenges in the family life. With children, what are the challenges? To raise the money, what are the things to be done and what are the responsibilities. As a husband, what are the responsibilities? As a wife, what is the responsibilities? What are the duties to be done to the children? And while you are doing that, who else you have to take care? It is not only your family. With the nature, what do you have to do? With other beings, from small insect to other huge animals, how you have to live, how you have to relate with them. Within your society, what you have to do. Whoever ruling you, how you have to relate with them. At various times, various ways, guidance were given. Of course, when we blindly follow, all creates various, it has created various other issues. But this clarity and this understanding, and from there the structure was created. And the next one is, that is a special thing. They see it very clearly. Whatever you achieve, whatever you get, it's all temporary. Nothing is going to permanent in this world. Let us look at the life. History. The people lived 2000 years back, 1000 years back, 500 years back, 200 years back, 100 years back, even 50 years back. Lead a great life. They have done so many things. You can look into all the famous personalities. A great leader, Martin Luther King, fought for the rights of colored people in America. Many decades back, they all say, okay, everybody got the rights. So many things done. What is happening now? Same story. You can see that not only that, everywhere. Mahatma Gandhi fought against violence, led the way, non-violence. Nelson Mandela, South Africa. But what is the condition now? It is not that what they have done is not necessary or should have not done, you don't need to do. No. At that moment, whatever required, you do that. But you see that very clearly, it has an expiry date. When Buddha taught about these four noble truths, and from there, centuries after centuries reached, many people followed. And from there, how many divisions created. Every institution like that. Everywhere we see that, right? In the name of religion, how the strong division has been created. We are facing that now. So they see that very clearly. Whatever you do in this world, it has its own usage with certain expiry date. Later it may be recycling in a different way. And still the situation will be there. The nature of this human life is these ups and downs. Painful and pleasure, this duality. When you look solution within that duality, you will never get the solution. Because you see the solution means you see the problem already. Because you see the problem, you see the solution. Because you see the solution, problem is going to come. Dualistic. Feel hungry, problem. Eating food, solution. But that solution, momentary. Hungry will be there again. feel young and energetic, beautiful. 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, still I am beautiful, but not like 10 years back. When I was young, especially the people at the age of 40, 50, 60, they come up with these stories. When I was young, everything constantly changing. So this up and down, problem and solution, that's what we are going to face. That is the reality of this worldly life. Whatever we do that. There is no eternity there. There is no permanent solution there. Seeing that very clearly, they say that you have certain responsibility. Wherever you are within that place, whatever the responsibilities you have taken, you finish that and move away. Don't get attached with that responsibility. Don't get stick with that. So slowly withdraw from there. Don't attach with your power. Don't attach with your loved ones. Don't attach with your wealth. Don't be fooled by that illusionary enjoyments, whatever the stage. Or you are not even achieving anything. Whatever the condition, from there, withdraw. Slowly move away. Get into secluded life. Secluded means getting away from everything, everybody. Suppose until then, you have your partner, your spouse. Then they say secluded together, because still you are not ready to renunciate everything. Until then, need a support. There are many Rishis. They got into that renunciated life together. There are many Rishis. They moved away from their spouses also. So it gives the clarity. That means, yes, I need to know the reality, and to know that whatever these methods I need to learn, I apply, and slowly I prepare to live in that life. When we have that clarity, then we don't look everything through the senses. In the sense, like, now this, what is the life after you are studying? What is the life we are getting into? Now the whole world is teaching, you have to continue, that is the life. You need a companion. You need to do these things here and there. And you have to achieve this. That's why people, even at the age of 60, 70, 80, still running behind something. Running behind power. You look at all the politicians. What is their age? Mostly you can see, for sure they are above 60. Running behind power. What for? To serve the common man. You can see that what is the nature of common man. To serve the country. Which country? The country is their home. Irrespective of the country, here the mind thinks the same way. Whether it is India, whether it is other part, like, Western countries, any other Asian countries, everywhere. There are exceptions. But generally, if you see that, before getting into power, the nature, the status is different. After they got into power, you can see that their all the things, their whole, lifestyle, family, and the living place, everything changes because they are serving the country. Where is the country? In their home. Because no clarity, running behind power, running behind status, running behind money. Everything is there. Huge palace, big house, enough wealth, enough for 3-4 generations. But still, the mind has already got stuck there. I need to make this business. I need to get this income. I need to get the success. I need to be number one. I need to be on top. Because this clarity is missing. What is that is going to come? What is that I am going to get out of it? Why I have to move away from this worldly life? Why I need this secluded life? Now, the story comes, right? The people have a lot of money. COVID, there is no doctor. COVID affected, there is no doctor. There is no oxygen cylinder. There is no bed. There is no space. You need to be on the queue. Have a lot of money. What to do? This is also extraordinary situation, but there are many different timings, different conditions. Just not having this clarity, which has what value? We don't study that. That was supposed to be studied in the school life. What is the value of each things we face in life? What is the value of relationships? What is the value of education? What is the value of work? What is the value of money? Then they have given this renunciated life. After preparing yourself in that secluded life, then you let go everything. Not by changing the robes. You just change into different color robes, change the name there. That doesn't mean you become a monk. That doesn't mean you are renunciated everything. This is a concept. This is the structure of life. It can happen at any time, anywhere, if you are ready. Any place also. Means wherever you are, you may be living with a lot of people surrounded. Still, you can have your secluded life. You may be living in a palace with all the facilities, but still you can have that renunciated life. So this, you can see that afterwards the seclusion, renunciation, it's started here. It's bringing, it's transforming here on the mind. But when you are bringing into action, it can be expressed in various ways. It can be completely away, or it can be in the middle of it. So that's why when you read any Rishi's name, you give attention. Whatever they have taught, look into that. See that what they have said. And is not necessary from the Indian tradition. Probably in different ways, at different other places in the world also, without that name, maybe no Rishi, but the subject matter is same. The way they have expressed may be different. The words may be different. But if you are understanding from what point of view they are saying, they are all Rishis only. Because everybody pointing towards the truth. Truth, reality, ultimate reality cannot be many. It is only one. They may be brought up from different places, different cultures, different timings. But if their path, if their methods directing towards this ultimate reality, towards this truth, everybody then talking the same thing in different languages. So it has happened also, because that's why, like, when we are hearing these various teachings of yoga masters, we can't stop, or we can't neglect the teachings of other traditions and other masters also. When we are looking into that, then if you are able to interpret, then we get the clarity. Then with that, when we relate with any people, any background, any religion, any culture, any race, we can see that very clearly without that division. In the end, one planet. All have same mind, same emotions, same issues, same search. So tomorrow let us look into those various traditions. Now we see this yoga. Then all these various rishis, not only along this Vedic line, also from different cultures. When we get that understanding of these various teachers, various traditions, various masters, then more we study about Yoga Sutra, then we can listen those masters' teaching also. It will be easier to grasp the meaning. We'll continue. More stories tomorrow. Thank you. Namaste.